Hi, I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Janis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Stoleve, I'm here in Bulgaria, bringing you the Game to Love podcast. So,
mate, that's a nice little surprise. What does that mean? Hello, I'm assuming.
Yes, it does. Yeah. So, or dobar večer, which is good evening in Bulgarian. So, we're here. I'm doing this impromptu podcast from a holiday, just because there's so many ATP matches going on at the moment, and couldn't leave you in the lurch, could I, JG? You're over there in the cold.
Be honest, you're missing it. You're missing the tennis already. You've gone straight from obviously Cincinnati to the US Open to French Open to Bulgaria on holiday, and you're not sure how to relax.
I don't know. Yeah, all I know is tennis. So yeah, it's just a bit of a crazy life we lead at the moment, and because of that dodgy French Open, which they slammed in the middle of everything else, now we haven't had a break from anything. So yeah, but can we complain? Tennis, eat, sleep, tennis, repeat. It seems like that.
Months ago, when we was clutching at straws, just hoping for a bit of tennis, we was watching all the exhibition matches and we was trying to get as pumped for it as possible. But it just wasn't right. It just wasn't the same, was it? And finally, we got tennis back, so I'm loving it. It's brilliant so far.
We have
How
indeed.
have you been anyway, mate? Have you been okay? I've not really heard much from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been nice, but I've still been keeping my eye on the tennis. I've just been, a bit of a weird trying to fly in these sort of conditions, keeping a mask on throughout for God knows how many hours through flying and stuff like that. But yeah, made it here safe and sound. And
Have you had to take any tests or not?
No, I've not had to take any tests. I mean, it's not particularly rife over here in Bulgaria.
Do they do your temperature at the airport or not? Is it not like that?
There wasn't any tests or anything like that. They didn't make you sign like a declaration or something saying if anything goes wrong, then it's on you, pretty much. But that's about it. So, I'm here. Been keeping my eye on the tennis. And, well, where should we start other than the biggest news of the day? I mean, we were sort of speaking earlier today and saying, what's the title for the video going to be? And then suddenly it presented itself because Daniil Medvedev continues his abysmal run. And he goes out, he's defending champion in St. Petersburg. Obviously, the number one seed.
Pick him, I remember the last one you was very tempted to pick him, but you didn't pick him, did you?
Because of his current form. And look what happens. You come up against Riley Opelka, and you know what can happen if you play Riley Opelka. You don't play well in your service game on one game. That's it. See you later. And he went out in 3 sets. And to be fair to Opelka, he deserved it. Medvedev's not at the races yet. I don't know what's happened to him at the moment. Is he going to rediscover that form of last year? Just doesn't look like it at the moment.
I think it's harsh, man. Like, we have seen glimpses of him this year, and he's been really impressive. Look at the match in the US Open against Rublev. He was really, really good that day. But then you look at other times, obviously before the coronavirus, he started 2020 in terrible form. I think he got bageled by Gilles Simon, and then I think the second set he lost 6-1 or something. He's not been playing very good tennis at all, and it's just glimpses. It will show glimpses of brilliance. Even the one against Gasquet in the first round. I don't know if you saw any of that. That was a really good match, and
still lost the first set though, didn't he? So
he lost the first set, but then when he come back in the third set, he was playing in beast mode, mate. Gasquet was pulling off them backhands down the line, but Medvedev was there every time and was just going with raw power, and he looked really good. After watching him then, I thought, well, maybe I reckon he will go on and potentially win this tournament. But then, like you say, he come against an informed Riley Opelka, and we know what he can do, mate. He is dangerous as hell. And one of the shots I saw, what really blew me away was the one at the net. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's all over Twitter and stuff. it was just one of the best volleys I've seen. It was really, really good.
Well, we know. Well, it's just one of these things, isn't it? It's just it's not a favourable draw, is it? That when you've come into a tournament that you're trying to defend, and then you get Gasquet first round, and then you get Opelka second round. They're two real tricky customers for anybody, in my eyes.
Yeah, but you can't make excuses for him. Like, I understand.
No,
You're always going to play. You're always going to play tricky people. It's an ATP 500 in Zenit St. Petersburg.
Yep.
And it's a big tournament. It's his hometown as well. He's got that added pressure. But if he is the player what everyone expects him to be, obviously recently reaching a slam final against Nadal. This guy, you've seen what team's done recently. If he wants to follow in their footsteps, he needs to be beating these type of players. Because granted, Gasquet is a good player, but he's not the next level. He's not an elite player.
No, I mean, obviously not.
You can make more of a case for Opelka, the fact that he's very young and he's got a lot more potential now. But you'd still expect him to beat it. I think it's disappointing. Like, he's been playing well in spells. Like I say, some of that final set against Gasquet was incredible.
Yeah,
and then he just couldn't maintain it, couldn't keep the ball rolling, and it's a bit disappointing for him. Really, he needs to up his game. And a few people are saying the same in the comments. We've got some of our usuals here.
There you guys.
Live, good to see you, mate. Vance saying Medvedev is a 6'6" player trying to play like Rafa, but even more one-dimensional. Bad combination.
Well, I sort of agree. You don't.
Do you think he's a bit one-dimensional?
I do feel at the moment. I don't think that his best game is one-dimensional, but I think at the moment he looks very one-dimensional and maybe a little bit predictable. I just think he needs to change something in his game, and I'm not quite sure what it is. He used to have the air of unpredictability with all that he was doing on court, and that's what you saw him get to the final of the US Open using that unpredictability. But now he doesn't have that, and people are sort of second guessing what he's doing, and you're seeing these type of results. You saw he obviously went out straight away in Roland Garros.
Yeah, Roland Garros is different though, mate. It's like one where you kind of more expect. He's not really produced any form on clay for
never.
as long as I remember. I don't think he's never won a Roland Garros match before.
Exactly, but it's still
so that's part of his game. He has to improve, doesn't he? Massively.
You'd still, for sure, but you'd still like thinking someone of this level, they just can't be going out so early in these competitions. He played well in the US Open, but still got absolutely tonked by Dominic Thiem, didn't he? When he came up against somebody who did have more variety.
It was close though, that match. Like, it was the scoreline looked like a bit of a battering, but from what I saw of it, I don't know. I'm always sticking up for the guy. That's the problem. I'm a bit like Wild Life here, saying Medvedev is making me look like a fool for touting him last summer. Like, it's been the same as me. Like, obviously there was the big talk before Thiem won the the US Open. Sorry. Was who's going to be the next player to win a slam? And I've always said I think Medvedev's going to be the next one. I just feel like he's got the overall game. I think he's a brilliant player, and it's someone who's really exciting. He's got the mental side as well, a bit stronger there in that element. But yeah, he just keeps mugging me off, mate. To be honest, I keep putting him up there to expecting him to winning things and doing well, and he just keeps disappointing me a little bit. Is that harsh?
Yeah. I don't think it is at the moment, because he's someone with so much potential, and he showed how many games he can win in a row and how many finals with that amazing run he did last year. You just want to see him replicate that. You want to see him become one of those sort of top three style players when they go on these like incredible runs of form. That's what we thought we were seeing, the next breed of tennis player coming through. And to see him have that usual January, February slump, as he always has, and then he's continued the slump, which this is not what we want to see. We want to see him suddenly come out of it and start playing again. We haven't seen, obviously it's extreme circumstances, and he did play well in some of the games in US Open, but it's not the same level, is it? It's not. He's not back to it yet. So
12 Travel 21 says, this is indoors and Roland Garros was clay. Medvedev's best surface is outdoor hard.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. But he's still the reigning champion. He's the reigning champion. He's still obviously good on indoor hard.
Yeah, but when you're at that level, like a top, I don't know, I don't want to say too high, like a top 8, say. He's got to be a top 8 player, would you say? There's not really many discussions.
Yeah,
You'd put him in the top 8. So based off that, it doesn't. I know you need to be better at a lot more surfaces than just outdoor hard. That's very specific, isn't it?
Outdoor hard.
Come on, like you're supposed to be that next level player.
Outdoor
You need
hard
to be
when there's no wind.
Yeah, just when all the crowd are cheering you as well, and everything's going well. No, come on, it's just not good enough, and he needs to improve for sure. I think he can do it, and I hope he can raise his level.
And then, okay, I'm going to share my screen now because I want to move away from Medvedev because, we can speak about him until the cows come home. I want to talk about my pick, which obviously it's just recently just finished this evening, and we've had was the tie which I was most looking forward to, which was guy we've been speaking about a lot, Aslan Karatsev and Khachanov. And what a tough match. I was watching this one earlier, and it was Karatsev, such an amazing play. He transferred his form from the clay courts onto the hard courts, and he looked the real deal there in that first set. He was like battering Khachanov off the court. And I was a bit worried for Khachanov and my selection there for the tournament. I thought, is he actually just going to push him up? And I think it was a bit lucky for Khachanov. He managed to sort of get in his groove in the second set. And then Karatsev actually had some calf problem. I think he might have been a bit cramping maybe in his calf. And that sort of helped Khachanov through the last final set. I think he just had that edge. So, yeah, he did well, but what a great match. And it was thoroughly enjoyable to watch. And good to see Karatsev really pushing some of these top guys, top 20 players. So,
mate, I think you summed up well. Credit to Aslan Karatsev. He's been a player on the Challenger Tour, been around for a while. Not really seen much of him, but recently he's been on this storming run, winning everything. A little bit disappointed he didn't qualify for the French Open, but it was just, I think it was the last qualifying round which he stumbled on against Sebastian Korda, who we know had actually a relatively good tournament as well.
Very good.
So he's got to keep his head up with that regards. He's going to be back. And the way he's playing right now, mate, he is a real formidable player. And I like the look of him a lot. Like you say, at one point I thought he was going to beat Khachanov, to be honest. I think Khachanov just showed a lot of grit and determination to get through that one. It wasn't just skill.
No, it definitely wasn't just skill. It was something that he does show. I mean, I know that... we can't really judge him again from his matches against Djokovic because Djokovic is just on the next level. Yeah. But in this tournament, that's why I sort of thought there's none of those top guns are in this tournament. And I think if he puts it all together on any given day, Khachanov can beat some of the best players in the world. And I reckon now Medvedev's out. We've got Rublev obviously in there. He got taken to 3 by Humbert, which is, I don't know, I was a bit shocked. I thought Rublev might steamroll him in being in Russia. But this could be a good sign for Khachanov as well because Rublev looks beatable as well.
Yeah, I don't know though. I want to add a point on this actually because Ryan's just said a good comment as well in the chat saying I've become a big fan of Ugo Humbert, and I would have to agree wholeheartedly with that. The reason is I think this player has his level has increased so much the last year. He's always been a player on the fringes of maybe for me 100, top 100 to 150, not quite really breaking. Yeah, but in terms of the way he plays, I know his ranking sometimes is a bit higher than that, but he's never really filled me with a lot of aspiration to be a top 100 player. However, recently, what I've seen of him, obviously in Rome, I thought he was super impressive as well. He looks like a real serious player, and it's interesting to see what his ceiling actually is. I don't think he's going to be elite, but we need to remember he's a young player as well. And the way he's going, the way he's going, you cannot discount him for maybe a top 20 place or something like that in men's tennis because he has all the attributes, and it's going to be exciting to see how he progresses. A lot of people love him as well. He's got a lot of fans. Yeah,
for sure, and he should do. I mean, this is one player we don't really speak about enough, and he's beaten some great players. I remember watching him. Remember when Andy Murray won in Antwerp, and then I flicked on and just watched that match between him and Humbert.
Yeah, I remember you saying that actually. Yeah,
I was literally the level of tennis in that match was so high, and I was shocked because Humbert I thought could have probably won the tournament. If Murray, I don't know how he got some of the shots back. Humbert was battering the ball left and right, and Murray somehow was just digging the ball back every time and staying in rallies, and that retrieval like that Murray can get back was just there on that. In that whole tournament, he looked like he was back to his best.
Well, he ended up beating Stan Wawrinka, didn't he, in the final?
Exactly,
and so it just shows that what level he was playing at. But Humbert, for me, I remember watching that match as well. I think you was watching it live. I saw the highlights, and yeah, he was incredible that match. The way he was hitting, and Wild Live there saying he's only 22. So we talk about a lot of young players. Is one we skim past a lot. I think it's because maybe, well, not even that long ago, say when he was 21, watching him, he was always. He was okay, around the top 100 player, good player, solid, but they didn't really like excite me. Never beat any of the big players really, but now I'm seeing a different side to him, and I think he's someone you should always look out for. And I think his ceiling for me is very high, and could do some really big things in the game for sure.
Yeah, somebody. Well, and obviously Rublev's gone through there. Somebody else who I was sort of thinking about picking, but I just thought, don't be boring, Ben. Don't pick the same guy every time. Is Denis Shapovalov, and he's looking ridiculous in this tournament so far.
So is my pick though.
Yeah,
I know Melez in the comments before, he was like, he commented on the video and said he's not so sure about the pick. He thinks it's a bit of a bad one. He reckons he might. Well, he thinks he'll do okay in the early stages, but you're not going to see Raonic to the end. But he's been impressive so far, mate.
It's in the final of the Cincinnati Masters, don't forget. So it doesn't get much tougher than that. And he took a set off Djokovic in the final, if you don't remember. So, but Shapovalov looking just as impressive. And
the Canadians, mate. The Canadians look good.
Yeah, definitely do. Shapovalov, it just looks easy. I mean, Vashka was playing some really great stuff in his past match. I saw the match before when he was playing. Who was it? Who was he playing? Manarino, that was it. Yeah, and he beat Manarino straight sets, which is impressive.
Mate, did you see what happened in that match?
In which one? The
Ivashka Manarino one.
Refresh my memory, because I may.
There was all the stuff with the toilet break and stuff, and he got a game penalty in the end because he come back late.
Yeah, that's it. Which was the one? There was somebody who had to take a toilet break mid game, wasn't there?
Yeah, that was him.
Was that the one? Yeah. I did see that. I couldn't remember if that was.
And he was getting really angry, just shouting on court.
Oh man!
I'm not even going to say some of the things he said to the umpire.
Oh God! Don't. There's somebody else I'm gonna have to talk about, but I'll talk about when we get to the tournament anyway. But yeah, we'll stick on this one for now. Yeah, Shapovalov looking really good. That back, I suppose he just played with just a backhand against Vashka. Seems like
Shapo's a real player, man. It's going to be exciting to see if he can go all the way. And I think we both was reluctant to pick him just because we picked him a lot of late. But that's the only reason, because we think he certainly can go the distance. I know people in the comments like him. Andy said Shapo's looking good. Ryan says the first set was one of the best sets I've seen from Shapo.
It was ridiculous. I mean, it was like he just put that backhand where he wanted it all the time. And Ivashka just was caught just staring at it a lot of the time because he didn't have any option. He just was stood there on the court and just watching Shapo hit into this. It wasn't even that empty, the court, but it was just the sections of the court that were empty. He just picked the spot so perfectly. Just love watching him play when he's flowing like that. So, yeah, well done to him. And one that we will never really sing the praise of, Borna Coric. He's gone through there against the Fulan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, mate. I don't really want to say too much about him. Like, I don't want to be too negative. He's okay. Just not much. Doesn't fill me with much excitement, I'll be honest. I know there's a lot of mega fans out there. They're probably going to be attacking me, but it doesn't do it for me.
Mitrovic saying he's not a fan of tall guys. Oh, there you go. So Opelka, you're not going to hoping he wins this tournament then.
Well, Opelka's got a chance, even him.
And I saw Andy asking there if we're going to be doing a live stream for the final, but I think I'm probably still going to be over here, to be honest, and I don't know where I'm going to be when the final's being played at the moment, so probably have to take a rain check on that, but hopefully we'll be able to bring some lives to you next week with whatever tournaments are going on then.
Well, we've obviously got the Masters in Paris, I believe, happening. If that still goes ahead, obviously cases in Europe right now are going up. things aren't looking great all over Europe. I know Italy, England, especially the UK is terrible right now. So it depends what happens with that, obviously. But hopefully, if the Paris Masters goes ahead, that'll be brilliant. We'll be able to cover that. Might even take some days off work, so we can do some live watch-alongs because we really enjoyed them for Roland Garros.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people enjoy them as well. Hopefully now we can make them a lot more interactive and more fun as well. We're only going to get better at what we do, I guess.
Yeah, like you were saying with the whole COVID thing, though, I don't know if anybody's aware that there's people in the north of England that are being complete arses with how they're acting. They're releasing new lockdown measures as of a Monday. And then, so the weekend before, they held big, massive parties in the street in Liverpool 2 days before the lockdown restrictions come in. So it's just complete idiots out there. And whoever you are, just get in your houses, stay in your houses.
So it wasn't you out there partying then?
Mate, it just winds me up. I just want this over with. I just want to get back. I want to get to some tournaments, mate. I'm just sick of all of this. So
I thought you was going to say you can't wait to get back to work.
Yeah, and that. Yeah, I can't wait. Well, anyway, that's enough of that.
Anyway, let's move on to the other tournament then, because we've spent a lot of time in Russia right now.
And we go over to... Oh, sorry, I just had it on the next tab, mate. So that's why I was just had it ready, raring to go. And we had a bit of Cologne, a bit of slap, and obviously the favourite of the tournament, who I was reluctant to pick as well because he's the favourite, is Alex Zverev, and he sort of swept aside Andy Murray's conqueror, didn't he? There, Fernando Verdasco.
Well, Verdasco's not played much tennis. I thought it was really impressive the way he beat Murray, though, I must admit. But it's gonna just keep bringing the questions about Andy Murray's career. Should he just stop playing?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit frustrating, to be honest. I called it. I said
it's harsh, isn't it? Because it's just so harsh. Like, who are we to pass judgment on someone who's been through so much? He's just tried to do everything he can to get back into the sport. He's shown so much character, but I don't want to see him anymore in tournaments getting these wild cards when there's loads of exciting young players.
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like they deserve the chance more. I don't know if that's me being harsh.
No, I don't think it's harsh. I think if he wants to get back in there, he should just do like TFO does. He's dropped down. He won a challenger last week because he can't do well in the ATP events. So TFO's doing it. And he's youngster. So Murray, you're gonna have to. It doesn't matter if you got 3 Grand Slams. You've just got to get your match fitness back, and you've got to really grind to get back to the ATP level again in these 500s.
It's not even just that. It's just a case of I'm not sure if he can. Like, his body doesn't really allow him. It's not a technique thing, is it? We know the guy is one of the best tennis players in the world. And
we know the level of the challengers, and if you can't win the challengers, then maybe just retire. That's what I think. That's my personal opinion. I just think, I know it's harsh, but if you can't win the challenges, they're tough, the challenges. You've seen who you've got in the challenge now. If he can beat an Alcaraz Garcia now, or he can beat a TFO in the challenger, or he can beat a Musetti, fair enough. These are the young up-and-coming players playing in these challenges who are really, really good. And if you can still beat them, fair enough. You can probably mix it back in the ATP, prove it first.
Or even like a Hanfmann or someone who plays a lot of tennis,
He's another player who's sort of been doing quite well on ATP as well of late. But he's dropped back to the challengers and had we'll get onto that result. He played today as well. Yeah. But the big win of the day in Cologne, Davidovich Fokina. What a great result that is against Marin Cilic. And Fokina keeps on proving people wrong. I thought in this one Cilic would have it wrapped up, and but he's getting a bit. I keep on moaning about the age of Cilic, but he keeps pulling out results. But this time maybe.
Fokina is one of my boys, mate. I love Fokina.
Yeah,
I've been singing his praises for years. I love him. I think he's incredible talent, and just showed how hard he fought in this match. Being obviously lost the first set 6-3, and then he was 2-love down in the second set as well. Had to come back from that, winning a tie break, and then just really dominant after that, and just sort of expressed himself on the court a lot more. Yeah, and really exciting play. Can do it on all surfaces. Good clay court player as well. People don't always know him for his clay court, but He's just good at everything, I think. He's just a really good all-round player. I think he predominantly started on the clay courts, but recently he's played more tournaments on hard courts and been dominating it, to be fair. But now he's on a higher level. He's playing against some big players now. That's what happens. When you keep winning on the lower levels in the Challenger Tour, you're just going to progress to the next level. And that's when the real challenge begins, I believe.
I totally agree. Sorry, I just noticed a comment that's come in from Tennis for Me saying, give Murray a break. He just beat TFO and Zverev at the Western and Southern and Nishioka in the US Open.
Yep.
He did, but there's part of me that thinks he beat... Do you reckon he beat Zverev now? I think Zverev will probably batter him now, to be honest.
But it wasn't that long ago, to be fair, Ben. Like, I think it can happen. I think Murray can produce the odd result. I just don't think he's got the body for a tournament.
I don't think that those players were fit enough coming back off the break. I think Murray probably came back off the break and could get back into the swing of hitting the ball and being better because he's ex-world number 1, 3-time Grand Slam champion. Of course, he's going to be more naturally back in the swing of things. Now I think everyone's back in the swing of it. I think Murray's going to be behind everybody else. I think his fitness is going to be behind. He's going to start struggling more. You see how good Zverev is now. I think Zverev would do him in 2. That's what I think if they played now. I don't think there would be much competition. And that's my personal opinion. I'm not being harsh on Andy Murray.
With me, on the one-off matches, I think he can win. Like he's obviously got that ability, but it's his body, isn't it? If he's got a day's rest, or not even a day's rest, sometimes play the next day in a tournament, I don't fancy his chances. To be honest, it doesn't matter who he's playing against. It's because it's not. He's got a metal hip, for God's sake. Like he's struggling, the man. And I agree with the fact that what Andy says. He's won multiple majors. He has the right to decide when he wants to retire. Ultimately.
Oh, for sure.
But does it sit right that he's taking wild cards to all these events, which younger players I feel like could actually have stand a better chance of progressing deep into a tournament? I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh on Murray. I think it's good to see him back on the court. It's an amazing thing what he's done. It just shows how much passion he has for the sport as well, and not the fact that he just plays for the money. He loves tennis, and you know that for sure. But it's just not nice seeing someone who's that great just sort of going through the motions, and that's what it seems like he's doing at the moment.
And losing to people that he should be beating and he could beat, like especially with Verdasco as well. Like, just know that the real Murray would have probably beaten Verdasco, but it wasn't really. It just seemed like he couldn't get it over that wasn't that extra fight. He couldn't give all that he can give. His mind is stronger than what his body can do now. That's what I think. So it's just that. So it just makes me sad seeing somebody who I've been cheering on so much over the past years, just like ending up like one of these players that just falls off into obscurity and just ends up losing to people you would expect them to beat. And I don't know. Anyway, it's enough on Murray.
But one last thing I do want to say on Murray is this is a good point. What 12 Travel 21 says. I think he just wants the last Wimbledon, mate. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
I would like to see Andy Murray go for another Wimbledon, see how it goes. If it doesn't really go to plan and it's a really quite a miserable attempt, then I think he can just hang his racket up there. Said he's had an amazing career. He's always going to be a role model. I'm sure. Literally, he's revolutionised British tennis. We've not had someone like him.
Amazing.
So it's a credit, mate. It's brilliant. But I think the time's up. Like I want to see younger players coming through now and playing good tennis. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, he's always going to be an inspiration to so many people, and in his Grand Slams, they're his. They're not going anywhere, and he's going to be a legend.
Not just that, he can be proud of his return, like Jordan says here. Obviously, winning at Antwerp, he's come back with a metal hit, won Antwerp. I think that can be like his sort of final send off for me. It'd be good to see him at a Wimbledon. Maybe if he can go deep into a tournament there, that'll be huge. But I think that'll be largely to do with the fact that the crowd is really playing as like the extra man.
If there is a crowd.
Yeah, we haven't had one. Let's just get on to them final results. Obviously, Laxonen, a guy we've had on the podcast, a bit disappointed from him, but Felix, when he's on, mate, he's on.
Yeah,
and Felix looks really good. Another Canadian playing some good tennis.
Definitely. Didn't see that going any other way. Apologies to Laxonen, but Felix sort of on the next level when he's on. And this one I thought could be a potential banana skin for Batista Agut, but luckily my guy, squeezed through there like Gilles Simon. He's one of those little slippery customers, isn't he?
Mate, I didn't see how it ended, but I thought Simon was up. I think he was serving for the set. I thought he was serving for the second set.
Let me have a quick check. He was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
No,
he looked like did he have set points as well?
He did 2 set points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought Gilles Simon had that second set wrapped up. I turned it off after that.
No,
I thought we'd have a third set. I'm surprised there looking. I thought it was a glitch, mate, that it went to 2 sets. I don't know what he's done there, but
Batista
it's typical Gil, isn't it?
I know, but Batista are good. That's typical him as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just never gives up, and that consistency, and just keep plugging away, keep on grinding you down. And Simon, well, I think it's still a good result against Batista, to be honest. But yeah, he should have squeezed the third. But yeah, that's what we've got for the results from Cologne. And then the last one on this last tab was obviously Sardinia, which we've got some very interesting people in this one. I'll try and squeeze that up so you don't see the other results again. We had this crazy result. What's this? I thought Ruud was going to win this one. And Yannick Hanfmann has absolutely battered Casper Ruud 6-2.
I think it was Ruud my tip for the tournament.
I think
I'll have to go back. I forget.
I think it might have been.
Probably was. Yeah, shocked, mate. Shocked.
I'm
not seeing any of it. I must admit, I'm not seeing anything. So it's difficult for me to comment on it. Just commenting on the score now. Yeah, bizarre. It's bizarre. Hanfmann, we know how well he can play, and he is a really serious player. Obviously, I think he won an event recently at the beginning of the year.
He was a challenger, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won something recently. So yeah, we know he's played a lot of tennis, but so does Casper Ruud, and I thought Ruud would be able to handle him. I'm a bit surprised in that fashion, 6-2, 6-1. Whether something's up with him, I'll have to find out. I can't really comment too much on it aside from that.
Yeah, I think I think my pick went out of the tournament as well. I think I had Dusan Lajovic, didn't I? He went out last round, and so did Casper Ruud. So we didn't do too well on this one. But look how promising it is for the youngster, Lorenzo Musetti. And he is cruised through again. What an incredible result. I mean, it's Pellegrino. He's not like a world beater, but this is just strength to strength from Lorenzo Musetti. And you see who he's going to be playing in the next round. I'll just pull it up on my screen. Yannick Hanfmann. So those two are playing each other, and that's a real tough test for Musetti, to be honest.
When's that one on?
I believe that'll be tomorrow.
That'll be good, mate. Hopefully I can watch that because I think that's going to be really exciting. I love watching Musetti. Obviously, he's like him and Alcaraz are like my go-to players to watch right now on tour.
Love them both. That's the future, and I love seeing. It's just crazy to see the bookmakers making Alcaraz and Musetti such low odds as well, and all their matches. I think this Musetti was 1.25 today. We had Alcaraz the other day was playing Ramanathan or something. It was 1.08. I was like, what the hell? This guy, he's even like above him.
Mate, today he was 1.61 playing against what's his name? Gallon Riveros, which is a crazy player, but we'll get onto that in a minute. I don't want to jump the gun. But Musetti again, the Pellegrini result, I just think that's remarkable. And for me, I don't know, do you know what the draw is now for that? I can get it up on my phone.
Yeah, I just had it up, and we've got so we're into the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We've got Laszlo Djere versus Yuri Vesely, which is down the bottom. I don't know if I can share this one as well. That might be easier. Then everyone can have a look. Just share this one. So we've got Laszlo Djere versus Yuri Vesely. Vesely went through against who did he go? Sonego. That's a really impressive result. I didn't expect that. I thought Sonego was going to win that.
Yeah.
And then another guy, friend of the podcast, who's ripping at the top, was a lucky loser. Danilo Petrovic took out Kobayas Baena. Don't forget the guy who knocked out Denis Shapovalov in the French Open. He's just beat him 2-0 and in impressive fashion as well. It was, I believe, 6-1, 6-4. Yeah. And I dropped him a message last night, it was this afternoon, and he dropped a message back saying, thanks, guys. And wishing him luck against Delbonis in the next round. That's going to be a real tough match. But I think if Petrovic knocks him out, he stands a really good chance.
Mate,
of
I want him
winning
to win. I love Petrovic. He's such a character, isn't he? If you've not seen the podcast of Petrovic, check it out. He called us from his massage chair. It was quite unique. But he's a really nice guy. He was talking about some of the times. He's good friends with Djokovic as well, plays with him quite a bit in training. And he's a really top player as well. And funny enough, his head-to-head record against Caballero, he's beat him every time he's played him. So maybe should have seen that one coming.
Maybe just one of those.
I think he beat him as well recently, maybe in 2019, quite comfortably as well. So Petrovic has a good chance. Obviously, got Khachanov down there. Could be a bit of a dark horse.
And this is the other match that was on today that I wanted to talk about. We had Corentin Moutet, which was playing against Albert Ramos. And we know Ramos is a great clay court player, granted. And he's a very good player. And he has been playing well in this tournament as well. He did knock out... apologies. He played well in this last tournament. But Moutet knocked out TFO, which was right. And I want to bring that up as well. JG predicted the winner of the tournament between, Salvatore Caruso and TFO. They said the winner of the last tournament would go out in the first round here. There you go. There's your proof. Thanks,
guaranteed.
JG.
It was 100% guaranteed. I knew it was happening. It always does. So
always does. And there you go. But Moutet, he got bageled by Ramos in this first set. And then I don't know what he was doing in this second set, but he was getting frustrated that just Ramos was playing well. It wasn't even the fact that it was anything else other than the fact that it was he was claiming line calls. It hit the line.
He's been making too much music, mate. That's his problem.
It hit the line. That's the thing. He kept on hitting the lines, Ramos. And Moutet said, "The line, on the line again, always on the effing line, on the line." Like, was like going like and swearing and just going like having a go at him hitting the lines. I was like, "Are you joking?" And then he went and sat down, and then he was like, "Violation, quarantine, abusive language."
He was angry that Ramos was playing well.
Yeah, just angry at him playing well. He wasn't even angry. So he was clapping some of his shots and just swearing for no reason. I was like, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Moutet having a breakdown just because the other guy's playing well.
21 wants to know, when's the diss song coming? The diss track?
Yeah.
He's got to bring out a Ramos diss track, surely.
I think he should. He's always hitting the lines. Maybe there'll be some innuendos in there. You never know. But yeah, exciting tournament. Ramos Cecchinato. That now looks like a really exciting match, actually. Because Cecchinato, we know he's been playing super well. He knocked out Tommy Paul in straight sets. And yeah, I bet either of those two probably fancy themselves for this tournament, to be honest.
Well, there's a lot of good players been knocked out already. I'm still going to go with Petrovic.
Go on,
really want to see him do it, mate. But yeah, it's quite an open field, I believe.
Oh, mate, I would love it. I would love it if Petrovic would win that. That would, I don't know. He's such a nice guy.
Musetti, I'd like to see. I don't know if they can play in the final, but a Musetti-Petrovic final would be pretty epic.
Let me just have a quick look. So I just want to have a quick check to see where they would meet. I think they would. Yeah, they would meet in the final if that's the only place they could meet. That would be the ultimate final for us.
It's a shame we couldn't do a live watch along, because if you was in the country, mate, we would definitely have a live watch along for that.
Mate, that's the dream.
I wouldn't know what flag to have in my background though. I wouldn't. It'd be very torn. I think I'd have to go for Italy for sure.
Yeah, I'd have to be repping Danilo, mate. I'd have to be repping him. Yeah, we got a lot of love for him because he's actually just such a nice guy and very, very funny guy as well. So I always like to chat to people who are a good laugh on the podcast too. So should we have a quick look? Because I know that there was obviously Alcaraz Garcia, wasn't it? That was another person.
So there's another challenger tournament in this one, isn't it? So we might as well talk about the last challenger and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to bring that up because obviously we can't go podcast without talking about Alcaraz Garcia.
Mate, it's always Musetti and Alcaraz now. That's just the running thing. Maybe we should have a little segment just for them two.
Well, I think that's pretty much is turning into the podcast, isn't it? So, but that's what people been commenting, that they love us just speaking about these upcoming talents, and we'll continue to do it because we've been talking about it for the past year anyway, just amongst me and you anyway.
Yeah.
So
before we talk about Alcaraz, let's start for that first match though, because Fikovic, mate, is a beast. He is an absolute beast. We love him, and he's a really good clay court player. He just can pull off these results. For me, he's like in the same category as like a Sabov Wild.
Yeah.
Varillas, before he got injured, when he was actually really good, now he's a bit shaky.
Yeah.
Who else is there who's one of them like really elite?
Villela Martinez, mate.
Yeah.
This guy, he's another one. Taberna, Carlos Taberna.
Taberna as well. Yeah, these guys, obviously Correa, but he's sort of made the jump now. He's not messing around in the challengers. Correa was another one of these same guys in the challengers, killing it, and now he's sort of made the big jump, and he's too big time. But I don't know. You'd expect maybe a Fikovic or something to do the same transition. Obviously, you've had Montero, another really good player.
Yeah, Montero.
A lot of these South American players, they
Mega
really are
as well.
Yeah, impressive. But Fikovic, yet again, really good. And Bagel Barrios, who's a good clay court player as well. So one to watch. I don't think Alcaraz will want to play Fikovic in the next round.
No, I don't think anyone will want to play Fikovic in that form. Just looked, he looks so good, to be honest, against Barrios. And I just need to bring up the draw just to see who's exactly he's going to be playing. Just bear with me 1 second. But yeah, move on to Alcaraz though in that match, because don't forget who he's playing here. Galan Riveros, and what an amazing French Open Galan Riveros had, and just got knocked out by Novak Djokovic. Was the only person that could stop him.
Well, obviously he beat Norrie, didn't he? I think he was 2 sets down against Norrie, and he come back and won.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, he's a real serious player. And who did he win? He beat Tennis Sangren, I believe, in the next round, 3-love.
Straight sets, yeah.
Yeah, so Galan Riveros is a real player. You'd expect it to be relatively level. The fact that he's 24, Galan Riveros, could argue probably in his peak right now. I think Alcaraz is yet to hit his peak.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, I don't think. I'm pretty sure he hasn't hit his peak.
Yeah, you'd hope.
He's literally 17. It's not his peak. But yeah, like, it's just an incredible win yet again. Like, I thought it was going to be super close before the match. I thought maybe it could be a step too far.
Same.
I did think I expected 3 sets. I think it happened 3 sets. But after that first set, Alcaraz winning 6-1. I thought it was going to be another Musetti repeat. I thought we was going to see another 6-1 in the second set, and then that'll be it.
I know.
But yeah, fair play into the next round.
I know. Let's just show you the draw quickly. I've just pulled that up so that you can have a quick look at it. It's looking very exciting in the next round as well, because as you can see, I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I've just seen who he's got as well.
Alcaraz versus Fikovic, which is, that's a good one. But even though we're just like talking up Fikovic, that's no easy match, is it? Alcaraz. I think it's still a bit of a 50-50 though.
Well, you look at this will show how much the bookies love Alcaraz. The bookies Bet365 have got him at 1.4, and they've got Fikovic at 2.75, which is just insane. Obviously,
that's madness,
Fikovic,
isn't it? Like they don't give anybody else now, I don't know, any chance against Alcaraz, and he's still beatable. He's not like a world beater yet.
Obviously, there's the main seed still in it. The first seed, Pedro Martinez, he's one to watch. He's going to be playing against Machak. Really good young player. And then obviously Zapata Morales is still there as well. We know how good he can be. He's won a tournament of late. He can play on hard court, clay court. He can play on anything. And he is someone who's a bit of a threat. He's got Vukic. And then obviously Alcaraz, Fikovic, and then Diaz, Mario Viella.
Yeah. Stevie Diaz, he's playing pretty well as well. Another Canadian guy, isn't he? He's playing pretty well at the moment. But yeah, Pedro Martinez surely got to be the favourite for this one. Obviously, he's seeded 1 in this Challenger event. But
I think Alcaraz, surely you've got to consider him as maybe a favourite.
Just won the Barcelona, didn't he? But because he's so young, he's not the type of person to go out straight away in the next one.
Mate, he could easily do Barcelona and Alicante back to back.
Oh, for sure. He's got the youth on his side. But I was
Not
just
just that, it's his
looking.
home country as well. But there's a few.
Yeah,
There's obviously Pedro Martinez is Spanish as well. I think
yeah.
Viella is Spanish as well. A few
But
Spaniards
don't
left
forget,
him.
he's played Pedro Martinez and beaten Pedro Martinez before, and that was last year when he was even less experienced. So this is how good Alcaraz is. And when he only played Fikovic at the beginning of September, and he beat Fikovic in a 3-setter. So that's probably why the book is favouring, but still very close. They're very closely matched.
Yeah, 12-12-21 says the bookies are clearly Alcaraz fanboys. I agree. They love him.
Yeah, that's it.
They absolutely love him. They love him more than we do.
Yeah. As soon as they got wind of him, didn't they? They just literally, all the odds just went tumbling down. And then all of those 4s and 5-1s suddenly became not even evens, under evens. So, yeah, good luck to Alcaraz. Good luck to Musetti. Good luck to Petrovic. We want to see all of these promising young people getting to the finals of these events.
Yeah, and the last thing I actually want to talk about, Ben, I don't know if you've got anything else planned for the podcast before I go on to it.
We've got to talk about it. Is it what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, you know exactly what it's going to be. Then. And that is, I just want to know if you've seen him, maybe at the airport or around Bulgaria. Have you seen Sam Querrey anywhere?
Where is Sam Querrey? That's what the Russian authorities.
But where's Wally? Where's Sam?
Yeah, that's what people in Russia keep on asking. Where is Sam Querrey? Apparently, he disappeared after getting a positive coronavirus test and on a private jet or something. Yeah. This is what I'm reading.
Yeah, he's got a sponsorship deal or something with, like, he used to have a sponsorship deal back in like 2018 with this jet company and managed to whisk his family off. His 8-year-old, his 8-year-old child as well. They all just got whisked off and they just left Russia.
Wow.
The doctor come up into the room just to test them and like to see how they are, whatever, maybe give them some treatment, I'm not so sure. And they just fled the room and just run off. And no one knows what's going to happen. And the ATP have released a statement. It was so long, mate. I didn't read it all. I just couldn't be bothered. But what other people were saying off the statement was there's going to be serious repercussions for him now. Obviously, he's penciled in to be playing a lot of other ATP tournaments in the coming weeks and months. Whether he's going to be allowed to play them or not, whether he's going to have points deducted, there's going to have to be some kind of lesson dealt to him because you can't behave like that, especially someone who's quite experienced as well. You'd expect it maybe from a younger player on tour, but Sam Querrey, I think it's a bit, what's the word? Ignorant, maybe?
I don't know, possibly. I just, what do you reckon came over him?
Well, the thing is, it's difficult to comment too much because we don't know the exact circumstances. Like something maybe happened with his family, but I still think in the nature of the way it's done, it seems to be very much under wraps. He's not come out with a statement, or he's not tweeted anything, or even gave any inclination of what's going on. He's just run away.
He's just done like a reverse.
And that's not fair, surely, mate. The pilot, you can't tell me he's not going to come in contact with nobody else. It is kind of selfish. If someone else gets coronavirus and potentially dies from it, in theory, it's his fault. I don't want to be too harsh, but that's the way it is. Like, you need to be responsible. If you test positive, you should just... Mate, the hotel he's staying at, I saw pictures online. It's a 5-star hotel. It's not a bad hotel, mate. It looks like a palace.
He escaped. Maybe there was something else going on with the Russian government.
Maybe he didn't have food.
Maybe he was doing maybe he was doing a reverse Snowden. Like Edward Snowden's now somewhere hidden in Russia, hiding from the United States. So Sam Querrey's reverse Snowdened it and moved from Russia back to the States.
Or maybe he just wanted to get back in time to vote in the US election. I don't know.
Maybe he's a big Trump supporter.
Anyway, we're just all speculating. Hopefully he's all right. We don't wish bad on anyone. And hopefully he's not transmitted the virus to too many people. Regardless, it's irresponsible of him. And hopefully they find him soon.
Yeah, where are you, Sam? The wanted posters are up.
Yeah, but anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there. Obviously, we'll do another podcast when Ben gets a minute, just going through all the recent results. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a live watch along when Ben returns. I don't think it'll be for any of these tournaments, but for the upcoming ones, for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us tonight. And if you've not already, like the video. Thanks for so many subscribers as well. We've reached over 2,000 now, which is huge.
Cheers,
Just
guys.
keep sharing us. Make sure you check out us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that stuff. And we'll see you next week. Peace.